We got Bad Boys with a political twist. Yep. Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking about Heads of State. And this one is coming from Amazon Prime. It's a fresh new movie. It came out about 2-3 days ago. And it's starring John Cena and Idris Elba. Now, I get confused here. You guys know that when they do the post, the biggest star is written first, right? Like if you look at Bad Boys, it started off Martin Lawrence, Will Smith. Martin Lawrence, Will Smith. And then I think it was around Bad Boys 3 and 4, it's Will Smith, Martin Lawrence. Will Smith, Martin Lawrence. This is to signify that this is the bigger artist and blah, 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 blah. So now the weird thing is on this poster, you find that it's Idris Elba who's written first, then John Cena, then Priyanka. Okay? Now, the reason why it's a bit confusing for me is this movie had a $130 million budget. Whew, the things I could do with $130 million, right? It had a $130 million budget, right? But here's where it gets tricky. John Cena got $20 million. Meanwhile, Idris got $15 million. This is where the confusion is, because if Idris is the bigger guy and he's written first, why is he getting less than John Cena? And also, why is Idris getting paid less than John Cena? Are you telling me that John Cena is more expensive? Like, how do these things work? Because we're now in the cinema world here. We're not in WWE. Okay? If this was WWE and Idris was making some sort of appearance and stuff, I'd expect Cena to be paid more than Idris. But in the movie realm, I mean, Idris, we can all say Idris is a way more seasoned actor than John Cena. But how's John Cena getting? Anyway, we had Cena getting 20 million, Idris getting 15 million, and then Priyanka gets 10 million. And then Jack Quaid, get this, Jack Quaid, yeah, that dude from The Boys, he gets 2 million. How many of you knew that Jack Quaid is the son of Dennis Quaid and Meg Ryan? Yeah. Snooze, huh? And then when you look at Dennis Quaid, you're like, yeah, they do look alike. Well, this is just in case the names didn't ring a bell in your head. Anyway, back to the movie. Now, obviously, this day and age, guys, we've been getting swamped with movies that are just jacked up on roids that are A-list actors. You know, your Ryan Reynolds, The Rock, Kevin Hart, and blah, blah, blah. And all these movies are just, gibble gobble writing-wise. It's just a whole mess of nonsense on screen. And you're just like, gosh, and the way they hype it up and all that jazz. But I am happy to say Heads of State, for some weird reason, there was no way this formula was supposed to work. But for some weird reason, it works. And I love the fact that John Cena was not the typical macho man. He was a bit of a klutz in the movie. You feel the human side. He's a bit more human. He's not some action hero buff who just goes around breaking doors. I mean, there were a few scenes, but he's a bit of a softie and a klutz at the same time. Idris, however, was the more broody element to the equation, because he was the one who was once in the war, and he's the one who feels like he's a better leader. John Cena was like an actor. It's like they, at some points, it feels like they were pranking Arnold Schwarzenegger, the Governor. But their chemistry was good. The movie had a lot of those silly jokes. But because the movie itself did not take itself too seriously, a lot of these silly jokes hit the mark. They land. Like 70% of the jokes, they land. And of course, you're going to find, the typical, yeah, you're now overdoing it type moments. But it's a good movie. It's a good watch. And in terms of the storyline, hey, like I'm always going to be saying, you're never going to be getting not never, but it's very rare nowadays to get that story whereby you're like, wow, this is a brilliant, brilliant story, especially when you have such a lineup. And I'm sure you saw the trailer. You already have a bit of an idea of what's going on. And you already know that the story is not going to win any awards. But when it comes to actual entertainment and what the movie promises, look, the movie delivers. I'm going to tell you this straight up and down like 6 o'clock. This movie definitely delivers. It's a very good movie to watch with, well, not with the whole family per se. I mean, there were no like nudity scenes or, any of that unexpected boom boom. But it was a bit on the language-esque side. So, with the kids, just it needs a bit more monitoring. But otherwise, it's a very good movie. It's a very good movie. I enjoyed it. My family enjoyed it. The action sequences are quite, they're okay. They're not wow. They're not bad. They're quite okay. It's the humor that comes with the action sequences. The puns. They kept on chucking these really ridiculous puns, and I was just like, you know, this is so dumb. It's funny. So I don't know if that was the idea by the director Ilya Naishula. He's the guy who gave us Hardcore Henry as well as Nobody. So if you enjoy those two movies, I especially enjoyed Nobody. In fact, you probably have heard me say stuff like Nobody is better than John Wick. Yes, I've said that. Well, not the original John Wick, but like from John Wick 2 up until the last one. Nobody is a better entry. We got Nobody 2 that's coming soon, but it's not going to be directed by Ilya Nashula. But it's this Heads of State. It's a definite must watch, and I highly recommend it. I give it a Brian Willis movie rating of 7 out of 10. Yep, it strikes a 70% on my scale. It's a good watch. It's got a good balance of the action. It's got a good balance with the action, the comedy, and the story. Even though the story is the action and the comedy, I think it more than makes up for it, and it does feel like it was a bit of a big budget movie, even though most of the budget went towards paying the is it most of the budget, 20 plus 15 plus 10 plus 2. You guys, you do the math. Yeah, there's still a lot of money that went towards like the rest of the production of the movie. It's a great movie. It had a nice pace from the first act all the way to the third act. It was I think it was very well paced. It's a good movie. So that's it. I'm Brian Willis. No relation of Bruce. Which movie would you like me to review next?